What's going on, my YouTube crew? It's your boy, the Film Scout, back with another deep dive. Today we're diving into Conclave, a thriller packed with secrets, power moves, and unexpected twists. But the real question is, does it have what it takes to be an Oscar contender? Let's break it down.
The Pope is dead. The throne is vacant.
The conclave begins now.
I really like this film a lot. I'm usually not interested in religious themed projects, but this film's trailer made me intrigued enough to want to watch it, and I'm super glad that I did. In the film, you really get to learn a lot about the papal conclave and how it's used to organize the selection of the next pope after the previous one either dies or retires. For overall enjoyment, 9 out of 10, Conclave gets the Amusement badge. Conclave is a surprisingly emotional journey. You really do get a thrill throughout watching the film on seeing how the new pope is selected and all the secrets revealed in the process. There were a lot of characters I felt bad for while watching. The lengths a few will go for power is insane, and there were characters who made me upset based on how they carried themselves. For emotional impact, 8 out of 10, Conclave takes the hard badge. Conclave takes us into the heart of the Vatican City, where secrecy and power collide. Following the sudden death of the Pope, the College of Cardinals gathers in seclusion to select the successor. Leading the assembly is Cardinal Dean Thomas Lawrence, whose authority is challenged by the unexpected arrival of Archbishop Benitez of Kabul. Benitez reveals that the former Pope secretly appointed him as a cardinal, a revelation that raises tension within the group. I believe that's about as much as I can say without spoiling too much about the film. What I will say is that the plot of the film came together extremely well. There's a major plot twist that comes in the third act that no one expected. I believe that everyone in my theater pretty much gasped at the same time when it was revealed. I won't say what it was, but no one saw it coming. For the plot, I give it a 9 out of 10. Conclave gets the story badge. In May 2022, it was announced that Conclave, based on the 2016 novel of the same name by Robert Harris, would bring together a powerhouse cast featuring Ralph Fiennes, John Lithgow, Stanley Tucci, and Isabella Rossellini, and Edward Berger directing. Production began in Rome, January 2023, where additional cast members joined the project. Filming took place in iconic locations, including the Cinematography studios, to capture the Vatican's grandeur. By March, filming had wrapped, bringing Harris's intense thriller one step closer to the big screen. Conclave features an impressive ensemble cast led by Ralph Fiennes as Thomas Cardinal Lawrence, a British liberal and a dean of the College of Cardinals, tasked with guiding the papal election. Joining him is Stanley Tucci as Aldo Cardinal Bellini, an American liberal whose views align closely with the progressive stance of the late Pope. John Lithgow portrays Joseph Cardinal Tremblay, a conservative Canadian with ambitions of his own, with Sergio Castellitto steps into the role as Goffredo Cardinal Tedesco, an Italian traditionalist with hardline views of church reforms. Rounding out the cast is Isabella Rossellini as Sister Agnes, the steadfast caterer and housekeeper overseeing the secluded cardinals as they navigate this high-stakes, power-driven conclave. Together, these actors bring to life the tense ideological conflicts and complex dynamics within the Vatican walls. I really enjoyed the performances and everyone on screen. I wish Sister Agnes would have gotten more screen time though. Her character should have been more pivotal in my opinion. For characters and performances, 8.5 out of 10. Conclave gets the Ensemble badge. The screenplay excels in subtleness and nuance. I must admit there was a lot of terminology that was used as it pertains to the Catholic Church that I wasn't familiar with, so at times it was hard to keep up with the characters in their dialogue. I would say that it's a film that you would have to watch more than once to get some of the detail you would have missed the first time around if you're not familiar with Catholicism. But for me, that's always a good sign when a movie makes you want to go back and listen, because the conversations being had in the movie come across as complex and nuanced. So you want to go back to make sure that you didn't miss anything. For writing and dialogue, I give the film an 8 out of 10. Conclave receives the Pen and Pad badge. This is the first film that I've ever seen of director Edward Berger, and I must say, he delivered a great first impression on me. To me, this film was masterfully directed with a clever vision. From start to finish, you get a sense he cares about the film and how it's going to be received by the audience. The emotion and the stillness that he was able to get out of the actors in every scene was incredibly done. I can tell that he really guided the performances to make sure that this film matched the genre, which is mysteries and thrills. As the director, you are in charge of the final cut of the film. Guiding your cast and crew to execute your vision is important. And I believe, based on how the film came together, this is an Oscar-worthy film. And I haven't seen too many of those this year. Conclave is one of those rare films of 2024 that I can see sweeping throughout the award season. For direction, I give the film a 9 out of 10. Mr. Berger gets the captain badge. Before we dive into the cinematography, if you're enjoying this review so far, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Your support helps the channel grow and keeps me motivated to bring you more content. Please don't forget to ring that notification bell so you're always updated on my latest reviews. Every shot is meticulously crafted throughout the film. The film is about the Vatican and we get the Vatican. All the scenes depicting the cathedral were absolutely stunning. I really do enjoy seeing the old architecture structures like cathedrals, and you just can't help but be at awe when you see it on screen. I don't know if cameras were actually allowed inside the Vatican in real life, but we did get to see what it could look like from the inside, and it was just incredible to look at. From the marble flooring to the statues to the stained glass, just everything you get on screen made you feel like you were at the Vatican. One of the things that I noticed was that most of the film seemed to be shot in the dark. There seemed to be this noir aesthetic about the film, which I really did enjoy. But I question how intentional that was, because even with the scenes with bright lighting, it seemed to be dark. And I don't know if that was just from the theater that I was watching the film from, or if that was the film itself. But that was something that I noticed, that there seemed to be a lack of bright light in the film, and even when you did see the bright light, it seemed to be very dim. I give cinematography and visuals a 9 out of 10. Conclave gets the aesthetics badge. The film is well paced with a smooth flow. The overall pacing of the film is what I would describe as a slow to normal pacing, which is fine. I felt that the pacing of the film was appropriate for the subject matter at hand. The thing that I always look for with pacing is consistency, and this film delivered that. I thought that the way the scenes were edited together were really done well. There weren't any scenes that were blended together for transitioning. They were just more of a smooth cut and go to the scene type of feel. But there were more than a few scenes that were edited with Ralph Fiennes' character that were really done well. There were scenes where they would end a scene with him, cut to a new scene, then revisit that previous scene he had to reveal more about it. It didn't happen very often. It was very subtle, but it's one of my favorite editing techniques where two scenes are paired together essentially to offer nuance. Very well done. For editing and pacing, I give the film a 9 out of 10. Conclave gets the flow badge. The sound effects were sharp, but the score was forgettable, if there even was one. This is one area of the film where I felt a bit disappointed. I felt there was a missed opportunity to showcase cathedral music in the film to offer a atmospheric score that heightens tension, but we really didn't get that in the film, unfortunately. We didn't get a choir, we didn't get cathedral bells, just nothing stood out musically. And I felt that it could have been more than appropriate to have that in this type of film. For sound and music, I give the film a 6 out of 10. The themes in Conclave center on power, faith, and the struggles for moral integrity. Set against the backdrop of the Vatican, the story delves deep in the complexities of religious leadership and the influence of personal ambition and sacred institutions. As the Cardinals gather to choose a new pope, each brings personal convictions and ideological biases that shape their vision for the church's future. The film explores the moral dilemmas that arise with faith, intersects with political and traditional battles reform. A key message of Conclave is the importance of integrity and leadership, showing how power can tempt even the most of the highest spiritual roles. It also highlights the ongoing tensions with the church between progressivism and conservatism, reflecting a broader conversation on how institutions can evolve with respecting traditions. At its core, Conclave asks whether true unity can be achieved when ideological divides run deep, and it challenges viewers to consider what qualities make someone worthy of leadership in both secular and spiritual realms. The film absolutely executed the themes and messages of this film, and we have director Edward Berger to thank for that. Absolutely nailed it what this film was supposed to be about. For themes and messages, 9 out of 10, Conclave grabs the Inside badge. Conclave is a mystery thriller film, and it's the first one I've seen this year. The closest movie I could compare it to with the thriller genre attached to it would be the film Joker for Les Adieux, but it would be an apples to oranges comparison. For this film, I have to look at whether or not it executed its genres correctly, and I would have to say yes. Even though I don't believe the film delivered all the elements that could come with being either a thriller or a mystery, I do believe that the genres were balanced incredibly well throughout watching the film. I would have preferred to see more suspense and anxiety driven on the thriller side. I would have liked to have seen more revelations on the mystery side. I would say my biggest critique of the film would be that the revelations for a lot of the scandals weren't salacious enough, with the exception being the plot twist at the end. But like I said, the genres were executed in the most balanced way possible, so I won't dwell on this. The film was released last week alongside Venom: The Last Dance, and of course Venom won the box office. Conclave came in third behind Smile 2. Films with established IPs have been really dominating the box office this month, which is what usually happens. So I don't see Conclave overtaking the box office this weekend. Stranger things have happened though. The film is based off the novel written by Robert Harris, and as of 2024, it remains a standalone novel, so I'm not sure if the film will ever receive a sequel. Based on how the film ended though, I would be more than ready to go back to the theater and see a follow-up. I believe Conclave deserves a sequel, and for that, I give the film the Time badge. Totaling up the scores for the film, I give Conclave an 8.5 out of 10. And based on the badges that the film received, Conclave is Film Scout certified. That wraps up my review for Conclave. Tell me what you guys think about it down below. Till next time, this is the Film Scout signing off. Peace.